Working the night shift at Target was supposed to be easy money. That's what they told me when I got hired. Just stocking shelves, straightening displays, cleaning up before morning. No customers, no rush. Just 8 hours in an empty store. But what nobody tells you is how different a store feels after closing. The place that's usually alive with people becomes wrong. Too quiet, too still. The aisles stretch out forever, like tunnels. Every sound echoes. The hum of the lights, the squeak of a cartwheel, the click of your own shoes. It's like the whole building is holding its breath. That night, it was me, David, and Maria. We'd been unloading pallets in the back, bringing merchandise out to the floor. Our manager was in the office, supposedly handling paperwork, but he barely ever came out. It started small. I was heading to the detergent aisle when I saw a shopping cart just sitting there in the middle of the floor. Nothing in it. Just waiting. It shouldn't have been there. Before closing, we always make sure the store is clear. Every cart back in the corral, every stray item picked up. I pushed it back without thinking, but it stuck in my head. An hour later, I passed the clothing section. That's when I noticed one of the mannequins had been turned around. Instead of facing the aisle, it was staring at the wall. I asked David if he'd been working over there. He shook his head. Maria swore she hadn't touched it. We laughed about it, but my stomach was tight. Little things like that don't happen on their own. Then came the intercom. Around 2 in the morning, it crackled to life. At first, just static. Then a whisper. Attention. Guests. We froze. There weren't supposed to be any guests. Maria went to check on the manager. She banged on his office door, but it was locked from the inside. No response. That's when David swore he saw something moving near electronics. Just a shadow at first, but then he described it. Tall, thin, wearing a red hoodie. I thought maybe someone had hidden in the store before closing. It's rare, but it happens. Still, something about the way David said it unsettled me. We went to check, and there he was. At the end of the aisle, half hidden by shelves. Just standing, head low, arms loose at his sides. We called out, told him the store was closed. No response. He didn't move, didn't breathe, didn't blink, just watched. When we stepped closer, the lights above us flickered, buzzing loud enough to rattle my teeth. And in that split second of darkness, the figure vanished. The aisles were empty. That's when the panic set in. We grabbed flashlights and box cutters from the back. It wasn't much, but it was all we had. We decided to split up. Maria went to check the loading dock. David went toward the breaker to see if the power issue was messing with the lights. I stayed near the front of the store, trying to convince myself it was all just some prank. That's when I saw the shopping cart again. It was in the grocery section this time, slowly rolling toward me, its wheels squealing against the tile. There was nobody behind it. I backed away, heart racing, and that's when I saw him. The hooded figure. Closer now, at the end of the aisle. And this time, I could see the blade glinting in his hand. A box cutter. I ran. I don't remember choosing a direction. I just sprinted, past frozen foods, into clothing, cutting between racks, my chest on fire. Behind me, I heard it. The slow, steady squeak of rubber soles. He wasn't running. He didn't need to. He was hunting. I ducked behind a rack of jackets, trying to catch my breath. Through the fabric, I saw him again. He was dragging the box cutter across the floor, the blade scraping against the tile, sending out this high, metallic shriek. He passed the rack, head tilted like he could smell me hiding there. Then he stopped and turned straight toward me. I bolted again, knocking clothes off hangers, sprinting toward the stockroom. The emergency lights flickered red as I slammed through the doors. The stockroom was worse. A maze of boxes stacked to the ceiling. Narrow aisles. No visibility. I found David near the breaker, pale and trembling. He said he'd heard Maria screaming at the dock, but when he got there, she was gone. We called her name, but only silence answered. Then the intercom clicked on again. Clean up. In aisle 6. We both froze. I didn't want to look. I swear I didn't. But some part of me knew what we'd find. We crept back out onto the sales floor, past aisles that seemed to stretch longer than before, past mannequins that all felt turned, watching. And then we saw her, Maria, lying in a spreading pool of red, her throat torn wide open. And at the far end of the aisle, he was there. The hooded man, box cutter dripping. He tilted his head, like admiring his work, then took a step forward. We ran, both of us this time, no hesitation, straight for the front doors. But they wouldn't budge. No matter how hard we pulled, they stayed locked. Behind us, the wheels of a shopping cart squealed. Closer, louder, faster. David grabbed a fire extinguisher from the wall, ready to fight. But when he turned, the man was already there. The hood slashed downward, the blade cutting deep into David's arm before dragging across his chest. The sound he made didn't even sound human. He dropped, twitching on the floor, blood soaking through his shirt. I didn't wait. I tore back into the stockroom, stumbling over crates, gasping for air. Every corner I turned, I expected him to be there. And sometimes he was, just standing at the end of the row, waiting, forcing me deeper and deeper into the maze. My flashlight shook in my hand, barely cutting through the dark. And then it landed on something. A door. The emergency exit. I ran for it, praying it wasn't locked. My hands slammed against the bar, and it opened. Cold night air hit my face. For a moment, I thought I was free. I staggered into the parking lot, the store glowing red behind me, silent as a tomb. I didn't look back. I just ran to my car, fumbling with the keys, my vision blurred with tears. I got inside, locked the doors, started the engine, and sped out of the lot like the devil himself was on my heels. It wasn't until I hit the highway that I finally looked in the rearview mirror and froze. There, in the faint glow of my backseat, was a hooded figure, head tilted, box cutter in hand. And I swear to you, he was smiling.